Well, ladies and gentlemen of the footballing fans world, we are officially in the books when it comes to the Qatar World Cup. A legacy, a legendary, a finale, whatever way you want to call it, but it was certainly an interesting World Cup, to say the least, both on and off the pitch. A very memorable World Cup, if I'm being very diplomatic about it. But as we're talking, we're a day removed from perhaps one of the best World Cup finals we've ever seen. We're speaking just on the football intense. Ends 3-all in regulation time, goes all the way to penalties. Quite something else, it has to be said. But in the end, at the tender age of 35, that young hotshot Lionel Messi, he's going to be some player when he grows up,
Mhm.
finally wins his first World Cup for his country, which was, to be fair, a nationalistic monkey on his back for about 20 years. So yeah, that's finally in the books, and I suppose all is right with the world. And it also now finally answers the question of who the GOAT really is. And the answer is Kylian Mbappe. So that kind of solves that then. But no, I'm a joke, of course. Neil, how did you find the World Cup final? Was it all that Argentina France promised?
No, the World Cup itself wasn't particularly memorable.
Mm,
It was some ups, quite a few downs. Um, but on the whole, it was pretty all right. But my God, what a final! Um,
yeah.
I suppose coming towards into the final, like there was a lot of it was going to be a history making final
Mm.
because after Argentina put out Morocco, was it? Oh no,
France put out Morocco.
France put
Yeah.
out Morocco. Then the three teams heading towards the final were all historical teams. So like
Yes.
Morocco were like the first Arab nation, first Middle East and African nation to go anywhere near the final. One of the first to go as far as they did. And they did it playing really fucking good football.
Yeah.
Um, People were saying there were shades of Greece winning the Euros in 2012. But I was like, that's actually horseshit because this
That
Moroccan team are playing so much better football
I
than
was
that
about to
Greece
say that
team.
that's actually quite an insult to Morocco, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Then you had a France team that were aiming to be the only third team ever to have retained the trophy.
Mm.
The last one being back in 1962, which is incredible. And of course, you had an Argentina team spearheaded by a resurgent Lionel Messi,
Mm.
seeking to pretty much just end any debate about whether or not he's the greatest ever to play the sport. So it was going to be a spicy final. We got France v Argentina, as we probably should have, to the easily two of the best teams in the tournament so far.
Yeah.
And wow, I'm like, funnily enough, actually, like it's real peak end bias shit because I'm like the end to the game was so unbelievably exciting
Mm.
that you kind of forget what a kind of almost funeral procession the first 75 minutes of it were.
It really was like it was because Argentina like kind of stormed in such a good lead and it looked so like arm's length kind of lead, and then
And,
suddenly one penalty changes the whole lot. Like it's so
and also
bizarre.
like France just didn't seem to be running. They just weren't doing anything. They were just strolling around while Argentina were just passing the ball. It was going like, what the fuck? Like Di Maria was scorching by people and he's got wrecked hamstrings. That's what he did go off after 65 fucking minutes. So it's like if a
Yeah.
man with actual burnt out chewing gum hamstrings is burning you down your wing, and he's not even really that much of a winger, traditional
Mm.
winger. What the fuck? Like, you're almost half his age. um, so yeah, that was grand. And then then I'm like, first off, there was like three penalties in this game. And the first one that Argentina got really should not have been a penalty.
They were very, very soft, you
The
know.
incredibly soft. Well, but no, the next two I reckon were definite penalties for me. In
Mm.
particular, the leveler for 3-all. I mean, like he blocked the
Yes.
cross with
That's
his
a fair
fucking
call, yeah.
hand. Like. Um. So yeah, no, they were great. No, no, I just but then after 75, 80 minutes, France got a penalty.
Mm.
Mbappe smacked it in, and then within a minute, we scored a wonderful second goal.
Mm.
And then holy shit, like the fucking game erupted, and then it was just end to end pulsating shit. Like holy fuck, it was
Yeah,
wonderful.
there was warning signs throughout the entire tournament that Argentina couldn't really defend leads. Like they had to always be at 2 or 3 odds, or else they would still be pegged back. Because even then, even in the knockout games, like they beat Australia 2-1, for example. They got that nervy finish, and then they had the
No,
fisticuffs with
the
midfields.
one that Australia get was the flukiest of all fluke
Oh, it's
hits.
very
Like
fluky, but
the
like I
man
said, it was
just
still that.
banks it from 35 yards and it comes off. It's going well wide. Like when you see the original trajectory of that Aussie goal, like
Yeah,
holy fuck, like he's put that into the car park. And only for the fact that it goes in off a weird deflection and bounce off the defender's mush.
yeah.
Like everybody was just literally standing around going, "Oh, well, what the fuck? Did physics just break there for a second? Because it must have." But yeah, so I don't see that. But yeah, after that goal, the Aussies did try and pour it on, just didn't have it.
No, that happens.
They
Uh,
definitely don't have players like fucking Kylian Mbappe and Chouameni and
it's hard to get them
Camavinga.
around. In fairness, it's
Yeah,
hard to they're few and far between. But even then, like, and with much of that point, that the only kind of game that you could say Argentina were comfortable in was probably against Croatia.
yeah,
Like, and that's at that point where, like, the Messi show was really kind of underway in that sense. But it wasn't just him. There was also Alvarez. It was McAllister, and all these players were emerging as the tournament comes out. And even if you look at the team that kind of lost to Saudi Arabia, it's a very different team that got to the final
oh yeah,
because
absolutely. I
you
mean,
know,
I've read a good some good opinion pieces that if it weren't for Saudi Arabia beating them, they wouldn't have made the changes.
yeah,
Uh,
no, that's fair.
like
Yeah.
that team would not have changed to the team that won it, and
Mm.
they'd have probably crashed out in the quarters. So like they didn't have players like McAllister in there, you know, who I think Gutterblog had one of the best tweets about him. It was like McAllister is strong. Manchester United buys him for 80 million quid in January and has no fucking clue what to do with him vibes.
Yes.
Which I will find hilarious. But yeah, but he's
But it goes to show you, though, in a sense, is that it sometimes just shows you how important the system is and how certain players can fit as well. Because again, a lot of it was made as like saying like, well, look at the firepower that Argentina has. When you throw out the names of like Dybala and Lautaro Martinez, Dybala was never going to be a factor with the team anyway. He was such a late call up. But even Martinez, you think like because he's so good at club level, you think oh he has to be up front. He can see the front three practically right itself. But the Saudi game kind of proved that like you can't just throw the names out on the list. You have to go with teams that suit the system. And putting in high energy players like McAllister and Enzo Fernandez were the right answer in the end. Like you have to suit the system and complement your players. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, only Di Maria started the final. I don't think he actually factored in most of the tournament up to that point. But again, he was very bespoke. He was there to exploit the lack of fullbacks in France, which is a very strange thing to say.
yeah, no, no.
Um,
Like as I said, he's carrying numerous injuries going into that, but like he'd been playing really, really well in the
mm.
limited amount of time that he could. Like he went off the pitch in tears, not just because he'd scored a goal in the World Cup final, but the second goal for his World Cup final, which everybody thought, oh no, that's it. I'm like, when you
Mm.
looked at how absolute trash like France were playing, you're thinking, no, Di Maria's second goal, that sealed it. That fucking done it. So
Yeah,
that's why he was in tears. But I genuinely think some of those tears may have been pain because he just had to go off at 60, 65 minutes, I think. And yeah, no, it's yeah, but that's the thing. Like he was just there to exploit the huge amount of space in the fullback area, which is weird because like the fullbacks weren't actually running forward with any kind of alacrity.
no,
They weren't tracking back. They were just kind of like meandering around like fucking bunnies let loose in a field, and it's just kind of like, lads, you do realize this is a World Cup final, a
yeah,
World Cup final.
yeah. Have
You
to
do
keep your
know that.
shape against the best counter-attacking team in the no, you got
Do you just want to run a bit, like
yeah,
anybody like you're here, like you're potentially 90 minutes away from being the third team in history to ever retain the trophy. And like, none of you were even born, and the last team that fucking did it. And that was 62 Brazil, wasn't it? And that was 19.
yeah. Brazil, I believe it was. Yeah,
Yeah. And like, do you just want to run? Like, nobody's fucking running in that midfield. They were just fucking walking around. That's why they made two subs of 40 minutes. You
yeah.
know,
That's it. It was very little energy. Like I don't know if the subs really did make much of a difference in the end. I suppose for the Mbappe goal, it started
the
to come across
first
more.
set of subs didn't
Yeah.
initially make it. The second set really did.
Yes.
Because at that point, then he'd
Which
just
I find
nothing.
baffling as well, because for me, again, it's maybe the name kind of like value as well, but I just find it strange. Like the only way you could find Camavinga a spot for Camavinga in the team is at left back, where I'd assume like you'd want him there in front of Rabiot, but then Rabiot obviously plays very well for Deschamps. So, but I found it strange when watching the game that the very clear like weakness in the French team was that midfield. Was like if you pinned back the two if you pin back Rabiot in particular, and Charmendy then has too much to do, like Argentina could just smother that midfield because of all the players you have in that position. Like they could flood it with three, five players at any time.
Yeah, but
You
even
choked
then, I mean,
out.
like, even then, I don't think the Argentines kind of anticipated the sheer lack of any kind of legs or running in the French team. I think they
Yeah.
were just looking at these French players going, do these guys know that there's a match happening right now?
Mm.
Like, I don't think they were complaining because for like 80 minutes, they pretty much just had the entire run of the pitch. But like I'd say even the Argentines were like looking at this French team going, are these guys drunk?
Yeah.
Are they drunk? Like, are they
Yeah.
fucking high or drunk or whatever the fuck? Like, did you not know? Like, you win this game and then you get high, then you get fucking
That's
drunk, and
how
then
it works.
nobody.
Well, not in Qatar,
Yeah,
but you get the idea.
sure.
Yeah.
No, no,
But
you get shit faced in that plane home. You get straight onto a plane home and you get fucked up.
Buenos Aires is gonna sing tonight, lads. I can say that much. But
Boom.
yeah, but even that. So like, so obviously that leads into the penalty shootout, and like, I think I even said at the time when I was watching the match, like the biggest factor is the goalkeeping. You know, as again, I look at the French team and I would have identified Lloris as a weak point, really.
I wouldn't
Which I
have
would have said,
identified him. I would maybe, yeah, I wouldn't have identified him too much as a weak point,
hmm,
but up
there
against
are better
any.
goalkeepers out there.
Oh yeah,
At the very
very
least.
much so. That's what
Yeah.
that I was about to say. Is like he's not necessarily a weak point. He's just not necessarily a huge strength either.
Yes.
He's
Exactly.
a capable goalkeeper. People will point out the fact that oh, look, he's already won a World Cup. Like has the
It helps when you're surrounded by world class players. It has to be
yeah,
said.
exactly. So yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't point to him as being a particularly crap penalty keeper or keeper in general. And as much as I would
Mm.
like to do that, given that I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't see him as a huge strength there. Whereas when you look at Argentina, when they went to penalties, I kind of knew Argentina would win it
Yeah,
because
I had the
he's
same feeling as well. Yeah.
he's up against Emmy the bastard Martinez, and the man is a complete bastard.
Yeah.
There's just no like we're gonna have to like we have bastard as a nickname for Pastor Maldonado in
Yeah.
F1. He's lost the baton.
He
It's
has,
got to
yeah.
go. It's got to go to Emmy Martinez. Oh, sorry, Emmy the bastard Martinez, because he is just a complete bastard.
He
I
is
was just
your classical wrestling heel. That's he gets heat. He
he
gets
is
heat and
pure
nobody
heel.
does.
Like he is pure. I've walked into the venue and nobody can even hear me over the PA system because of the booing, and everybody fucking loves it.
And he doesn't
That
even have to
kind
be
of shit.
supposed to do it. It's fantastic.
That is just a he is a complete prick.
Yeah.
um,
Well, that but much of that point, like I mean, I think we said it in our primer that we did for this World Cup. It is going to be down to players like Martinez that defines Argentina's World Cup because they've always had the same attacking power each generation. Like when you have a strike force that's like that's spearheaded by Messi, you're always going to look good no matter who's up front. It's the defense that's always going to be the issue. And while you still have like jobbers like Otamendi in the defense, you now have players like Romero who are and Lisandro Martinez who are now a lot better foils than what they would have had. But then you still have the likes of Montiel and Acuna who are good players. It's the goalkeeper that's always been the issue.
yeah,
Now it's
they've
not.
never had a truly top tier goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, not never, but it's been a fucking while.
Mm.
And whenever they've have had a good goalkeeper come along, they've always had a shite defense. So this is a nice kind of perfect storm for them where actually we've got a few good defenders and a
Yes.
really good fucking goalkeeper now. And like, yes, and that's just how it is. And that they were perfect foil to the quite frankly embarrassment of attacking riches that team has.
Mm.
Um, but even then, they were still feeling fuckers like McAllister. Like he plays for Brighton. It's like holy
Yeah.
shit. Now,
But
maybe not
much of the
for
point,
much,
it's a
maybe
player, isn't
not for
he?
much longer, but well, maybe for
Yeah.
a wee bit longer, given that before this tournament he signed a new contract with them. But yeah, I don't see him staying upright for much longer. You know, he,
Mm.
he's he's fucking perfect for that kind of left eight role that a lot of teams now have, Arsenal included. Now, I'm not saying Arsenal are going to sign him, but he fit in quite well at Arsenal, I reckon.
It's a very La Liga position, isn't it? Someone that's
Mm.
like not quite an inside forward, but not quite a winger either. It's someone
No,
who plays weirdly, kind of like almost like facing the opposite touchline,
yeah,
if you know what I mean, and then just starts like shimmying around the place. It's a very messy kind of mindset, but I suppose that's the team, isn't it? So yeah, like, I suppose in that, then would you say that Argentina are rightful winners, or were they the best
yeah,
team you
yeah,
saw in the World
absolutely. They
Cup?
played the best football over the whole period. They had some of the best players, some of the most balanced team. They were easily the most balanced team in the tournament.
Mm,
Yeah, no, very much deserved winners. Um, they had the right combination of pure talent, genius, and shithousery.
mm.
And they even had their own full kit wanker in Sergio Aguero. Um,
That was quite nice, wasn't it? I think
that
he
was
did like
hilarious. You know, they
he came out
actually,
with a drum, so therefore
you
that
know, they
was
went
much
to
much
John
more
Terry
wholesome.
about that.
Yeah,
Somebody
I saw
actually
that.
showed John Terry that,
Yeah,
and because you know the way he went on after the Champions League final,
that's right. Yeah.
and apparently he leaned into the joke. He's like, "Jesus, if you're gonna do that, go the whole hog and wear the shin pads and boots." Uh, so fair
In
play to him.
fairness, he did come on with a drum, so I think that checks out. Like that's
Yeah.
consistent enough. Like
So
you know,
fair play to him. At least he leaned into the joke.
yes.
But yeah, no, it's just mental. It is. I think fucking what was that something like uh Emmy Martinez is like the first player ever to be playing like the fourth tier of English football and lift a World Cup. I was like,
Yes.
even as far back as just only as recently as 2019, he was playing for like Oxford.
Yes.
Like, holy
It's such
shit.
a really like it's my favorite. Someone made a point of it. I don't know who it was about the butterfly effect of football. There's because of Neil Maupay injuring Bert Leno that gives Emi Martinez his break in the Arsenal squad, like extended stay in the squads that gets him a move to Aston Villa and then to Villa to the Argentine national team and then to the World Cup. It's a very weird sequence of events that it is almost kind of compelling to the argument about fate. But yeah, so obviously, like it's also with the Argentine winning the World Cup. It's also validation for Messi as well himself because a lot has been made about him on in the national team, and particularly because he did like essentially come out of retirement, not necessarily for the team, but solely because there was a change in management in Scaloni in particular, and he wanted to play with him. And the team themselves kind of like almost like coalesce around Messi. It was a collective effort to get him to win a World Cup, which in one sense would be probably one of the greatest injustices for a player that good to never win the big one. You might say the same about Ronaldo, but that's the matter of interpretation. But it does feel like vindication at this stage, doesn't it? That he actually now has that one final because it was also the Copa America was a big sticking point to him as well.
Well, the Copa
Um,
America was the big sticking point because that was the first international trophy. And he only
yes,
won that last year. So like it seemed incredible. Like that's what people were saying was so incredible. That was the one thing Ronaldo had over him. Like
mm,
with Portugal, he'd won Euros. He'd done really well in World Cups, um, so on and so forth. But
yeah,
that Ronaldo had the Euro tournament wins, um, with Portugal and Messi, despite playing in an arguably stronger Argentine team could never do anything, couldn't even win the fucking Copa America, which only two or three teams even have a chance at winning. I mean, like
yeah.
it's
If it's
just
not
so
them, it's
bad.
usually Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. But then there was like a fucking resurgent Chile who just
Under Sampaoli and Bielsa, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely supercharged by Alexis Sanchez, who
Mm,
then won it, I think, three times in a row. I think
yeah.
they did this ludicrous thing where they staged it 3 years running. They staged
Yeah.
it 3 times in 4 years because it was coming to the centenary of they had it. Then
Mm.
they realized that the next year it was the centenary, it was 100 years since the Copa America had been founded. So they had it again. And then they played it again 2 years later. So in
They had a
4 years,
bonus one, yeah.
yeah, they had a bonus one. So for the tournament that's only meant to be on like every 4 years, they played it 3 times in 4 years, which was fucking crazy. Oh no,
Yeah.
or is it once every 2 years that the Copa
I think
America?
it's once every 2 years, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's once every.
Yeah.
So for a tournament that's only meant to be on once every 2 years, they staged it 3 times in four,
Yeah.
and I think Chile won all three of them, which is crazy. So that was it. So yeah, but yeah, that 2021 Copa America win was that was the duck broken. A lot of people started to kind of the Messi v Ronaldo argument started to lose a tremendous amount of steam after that. It was like, oh, he's got international tournaments, but then they started going, the Copa America is really only favored for like two or three teams.
Mm.
Um, and they were like, no, he needs to. Obviously, Argentina can't win a Euros, so it's just like, no, yeah, if he really wants to put the argument to bed, he's going to World Cup. Same with Ronaldo,
Yeah.
um, one of them did it.
Well, but like I said, it was by far a World Cup of narratives, and at least one of them finally paid off, which was the Messi finally getting the big one in that sense. Um, but obviously with Argentina winning, that meant France obviously were on the losing side because that is how football works. And I will say, like, I was actually quite surprised with the French outfit because we know how history has taught us never to back France after a massive World Cup. Like we've learned from '98, we've learned from 2006 and so forth that like it doesn't normally go well for them after the World Cup after. But I suppose it does say something about how well Deschamps has done in the job that he's able to keep the core unit happy and kind of manage. It's more ego management than anything else. Like he is playing what he believes to be his best team. Although again, you may argue there's probably a few players that should be in the team over others, but he's on by precedence, I think, than anything else. But a lot of it has been down to managing his big superstars, the likes of Griezmann and in particular Mbappe, um, and using kind of like his squad players like Giroud and so forth quite well. Um, I was pleasantly surprised. Like I think once they kind of like got through the group phase with relative ease, with exception to the result against Tunisia. But in the knockouts, I thought they were quite good. Particularly against Morocco, I think they handled them quite well. But in a sense, like I wouldn't have been like sad to see France like win the final, based on how well they were. But it does. I don't think there's any shame in being runners up to this Argentine side either, because both teams on their day were irresistible. Especially as you said, how they performed in the final. They didn't really deserve to win based off the 80 minutes beforehand, before Mbappe time.
Yeah, no, I think funnily enough, I don't think like there's all the pictures of Mbappe like slumped over, upset
Mm.
because he didn't actually. Because I think it's weird that despite the fact he was playing he was playing against Argentina, he had his Maradona moment. In that he pretty
Yes.
much almost damn near single handedly won them a World Cup. Um, so yeah, there's that as well. So it's no, I wouldn't have been too upset with the French team winning this. And
Yeah.
but again, you can't really expect to win games that you fuck away the first 80 minutes off.
Well, this is it. Yeah.
Um, people will point out, well, it's only the score at the end that really matters. And I was like, yeah, but it's all the play in the run up to that as well that really fucking matters. If you spend the walking around absolutely completely fucked. Apparently, there was
Yeah.
a virus going through the camp or some shit like that, but Deschamps still decided to play the same people. But one of the things you were saying there that Deschamps has just basically done ego management. I actually don't think. I think the ease of his job is that he's not had to do a lot of that.
True.
It's quite a remarkable thing about players like Griezmann, who I think has a monstrous ego,
Mm.
that far outstrips his achievements club level. He is an unbelievably talented player, and I will never ever dispute that. But he is a monstrous ego. But seemingly that whenever it comes to Les Blues, he can park it and he will do whatever he wants to do. I mean, he played this entire tournament superbly in a
He had a
position
fantastic tournament.
he had a fantastic tournament in a position he doesn't really play in.
Mm.
You know,
That's the shocking thing because, like I said, like he played that role as essentially as a number 10, which again, as you said, he hasn't played before and probably won't play since.
well,
But he's such
he
a
won't be fielded as a 10 at club level. Fuck no.
no,
Like,
not at all, no.
but the thing is, he played it as he was a brilliant foil to the rest of
Mm.
his team, and it was great. It was absolutely fucking superb. Like it was great. Similar with Mbappe. Mbappe is just a colossal ego. Like he's a world planet eating ego, but
Yeah,
he can seemingly park it for World Cups, and I think that's the major kind of factor when you go back. Obviously, we'll always go back to the Messi v Ronaldo thing. Is that Ronaldo,
yeah,
when it comes to the national team, cannot park his ego, whereas Messi can to a degree. he really can. He can actually listen to the coach, and if the coach turns around and goes, "Look, I am going to build my team around you, but there are times where we're going to have to bypass you down the wings, right? And
Mm.
I'm going to need your late runs into the box. You're going to have to dummy it, so on and so forth." And tried to train his team not to constantly pass the fucking Messi all the time, um, and which worked, by the way.
Yeah, shockingly enough.
So yeah, that's just brilliant. But I think with Deschamps, I think he's the remarkable handicap in that the monstrous French egos that he has to deal with. They don't get on the plane, they don't get on the bus. Just the players
Mm.
do. All he has to work with is players and talent. And I think he fucking counts whatever lucky stars he has for that. But yeah, it's a fantastic. I'm and how young this French team is now. Like, come
Yeah,
to the
like
next World
this is
Cup.
still plenty in the tank. Like
Oh,
it's
this French team for the next World Cup is going to be fucking terrifying.
yeah.
Because you've got a lot of old guard that are going to go out there. I'd say maybe Varane might still be around, but you know,
Yeah, like Varane out of that setup, like I wouldn't expect Lloris and Giroud to be still there.
no,
Um,
Lloris and Giroud will not be fucking
no,
there.
they will not.
Benzema has amazingly already announced his retirement. Um, from international football.
Mm.
Um, saying I wrote my story. I was like, okay then. Um,
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
Whatever,
mean, a lot of people have published novels half finished, so yeah, that works out.
yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah, like it's a serious way of talent coming through. Like as I said, like people probably like feel aggrieved of not seeing the likes of Saliba and Camavinga in this World Cup. But as you're about to say, there's plenty more World Cups to come for these players. They're in no rush to play these guys considering their age. You know,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, when you get, a lot of people were complaining about Saliba not playing. I'm kind of happy with that. You know,
less game
uh,
time.
yeah, we're losing players already as a result of the fucking World Cup.
Mm,
So happy out. But yeah, he's only 21. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like fuck that. Like they're definitely going to he'll definitely be their first choice centre back the next one.
Like
Yeah,
you can absolutely like see that the next French defense will be built around Upamecano, Kanate, and Saliba. Like you could easily form a back three out of that alone, and then just put whatever people you want in front of them. But the fact that they have those options just actually says so much about how deep that squad is. Like you could easily have a team with those three centre backs, and that's it. Like they can be built on that rock solid. Um, and even with the Euros coming up as well, like they're certainly a shoe in for that as well. So there's no shame in that sense. So in regards into the other teams we saw then get to the semi-finals, so we mentioned them already in Croatia and Morocco, and they obviously played out the après match playoff as we call it
the
in
most
Ireland.
pointless game in football.
It has to be, doesn't it? Yeah, like the bronze medal, like the
I
biggest
look at
loser.
it's not even really a bronze medal. Like, it's not the fucking Olympics. Like, I don't see it. I can't imagine there's too much enthusiasm for it. It
I
was
would say
settled with a great goal though,
after
so I
watching
have
the
to
match,
admit.
like the whole match was done in 50 minutes.
Yeah,
Like it was literally 50 minutes, and then like, want to go home? I want to go home. Yeah,
yeah.
we're all gonna go home.
I guarantee you, if the ref had blown up after like 55 minutes, I don't think anybody would complain. Not even a
No.
losing team. So there's
But
that.
but obviously that doesn't tell the whole story because especially for Croatia, it's still like they're still reliably one of the best teams to play in a World Cup. Like they are superb. Like this is the same team essentially, bar one or two improvements, you'd have to say, that got to the World Cup final. You know, like instead of having like old dogs in defense, then you got Vardiol who really broke out in this tournament. Not surprised to be honest, because he's already breaking out at this rate. But you've also got Livakovic, who was a vast improvement in goal, and Meyer, who seems to be the kind of the heir apparent to the Modric role in the Croatian team. So like there is still, it's not a case of the gold generation of Croatia. There is something sustaining that generation, and it is still showing in major tournaments, especially in the World Cup. It has to be said. But in a way, like it was so crazy seeing the likes of a Modric player who's 37 years old and like should be in a holding a cup of cocoa and have put his feet up watching this World Cup, and he's still outrunning the vast majority of midfielders in this tournament. It's
Oh, it was
ludicrous.
hilarious. There was one bit in it which had the commentator kind of laughing where
Mm.
he was in the opposition box. I think he had a shot blocked or something like that, bobbled around, whatever the fuck. And they cycled it out wide and got it down the pitch. And as the cross came in, it was defended by Modric.
Mm.
He somehow managed to outpace everybody else in the team, including the attacker that the cross was going to. They hit it out, and the commentator was sitting there, go, "Does somebody want to tell him he's 37?" He was absolutely amazing. It was pure awe, like it was absolute
Yeah.
awe for this player and his talent and his work rate, commitment
Mm.
to his conditioning. But they were just laughing. They were just going, "How does he fucking die? Does he know he's 37? What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah, it's crazy, and but even then, like it was all the players around him that kind of played up. Like we mentioned Guardiola as well. Like by far, I think probably the most impressive centre back in the tournament for his age as well. Considering now again, there will be much made about Messi making a mug of him in the semi final, but that isn't a shame in being skilled past the best player in the world, is there?
The best player to have ever lived. You know how
Yeah,
many? But everybody said that he pretty much got his blood twisted by Messi, who was not just like it's not just the goat, but the goat when the goat is actually like, oh, I'm on this. Like this
yeah,
isn't just coasting Messi, just making the odd pass, maybe the odd, Milner level fucking nutmeg. No, this is the Messi that wants it, that's on it,
yes.
that looks kind of like he's controlling the ball with his mind. It's fucking odd. So like if I was Guardiola, I'd kind of dust myself off, go, look, nobody's going to be hanging this over my head. Like who's going to be insulting me about this? Like who's going to insult him? Like people are going to look at that and go, all right, but
Fair enough.
I don't think there's any defender on the planet that wouldn't have gone through, maybe one or two, maybe, that wouldn't
Mm.
have gone through such a hard a time. And it's like they put him through that when he was 20. Like talk about a baptism of fire. But like if I was him, I'd dust myself down and go, well, I'm not going to meet that cunt again. And
That's the end of
exactly.
him.
And who else am I going to run into that's going to be that fucking good?
Yeah, that's very true.
Take it as a
Very true.
learning experience, one hell of a learning experience, I imagine, the poor
Mm.
bastard. But yeah, like he's had a fantastic tournament that's really put him on the map. You mentioned Livakovic as well. Who's there? I'm like, none of them are going to be at their clubs come the summer. None of them. I'm like, Livakovic has spent his entire career almost in Zagreb,
Yes.
so like he's gone. Like he's getting snapped, fuck it up.
Mm.
In particular as well, a lot of other players on that Moroccan team as well, like like
Yeah.
Bonu.
Like by far the surprise of the tournament, I think like there's no stretch in saying that. But then when you actually do look at the team on paper, like is they shouldn't really be a surprise. There's quality up and down the pitch, like, and they just showed it in this tournament when other teams didn't.
Sometimes, yeah, that's all they need. You just need a fucking thing. So you've got Bonu now. He plays for Sevilla.
Yeah.
So but he's been brilliant. He's I found out only the other day that he's Canadian born.
Oh, fair
So
enough.
yeah. So Sevilla are a bit of a selling club. That's not an insult to them. Um, he's got a Europa League's winner medal, and but Sevilla are a selling club. They will have a price on him, and I reckon somebody will come and meet that price. He's 30, 29,
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, he's turning 29, 30,
So
yeah.
you've still like you've got at least two decent sized contracts in him because he's a goalkeeper. So yeah, you've got that's brilliant. You should be going good. You've got Onani, um, Azadine, Onani. Um, so he's been really good. He plays for Angers in France. He was just brilliant. He was just a fucking live wire in the middle of the midfield.
Yeah.
Constant breaking, constant line breaks. Every time he got the ball, he just wanted to move it forward, push it forward, pass it forward, run with it forward. Angers are at the bottom of League One. Um, you know, he's contracted until 2025. That's not gonna fucking last.
That's a cash in. There's a
Yeah,
cash in
that's it.
happening.
He's 22 as well. Like, to be honest with you, if they wait until the summer to sign him, I'd be fucking amazed. They want to get rid of that boy in January when his price is really at its
Yeah.
highest. because
Absolutely, yeah.
if they get relegated in League One, like there's nobody's going to be paying market price for him.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, like, those are just two ones off that Moroccan team. Of course, you've got Amrabat, who you love. Um,
I really like it's one of those ones where it's like you find a player and you go like he's speaking my language, like
yeah,
he's kind of way you find if you kind of see someone on the same wavelength to do it's like I'm just gonna kick the shit out of people. I like that. No, I
yeah.
know. In
That's
all
it. You
fairness,
kind of mentally superimposing a Liverpool jersey over him every time you fucking see him on a pitch. You're like,
I think
yes.
Jurgen Klopp has been doing that since the start. To be honest, he just go like so he's ours, isn't he? Well, what do you mean he's not picking up the phone? Give me the fucking phone and so forth, and then teeth and anger and gums and so forth
Yes,
as well.
much gnashing of phones and teeth.
Exactly. But no, in all seriousness, like he is exactly the type of player that like that even not even take Liverpool out of it, he is a Premier League player. Like he throws that kind of like that tenacity that is often missing from certain players that come into the league. So he's almost certainly, and again, it's no surprise coming from Fiorentina, who was a blood and guts team. So that's only understandable. But even like I think it was I know we were talking the track back and tackle on Mbappe in the semi final was the kind of the highlight, the individual highlight from that. But in a game, the way he controlled the game against Spain was absolutely incredible because, as I said, Spain had I want to say like 75% at least. Like Morocco were just going like, you got the ball. We don't want anything to do with it. We don't give a fuck. And up to a point where essentially Spain were just constantly bombarding the thing, and Amrabat was essentially the guy in the piggy in the middle, and was still able to pounce on all of these chances. Um, and the amount of possession he would have retained out of that alone, I'd say, was such a disillusion to the stats because he was just doing the same role over and over again, and somehow this Spanish team, as dainty and frail as they were, somehow couldn't like deal with this, and that's what I find so baffling about some of the teams in this tournament that they didn't have an answer for this for one say player on a team like like Amrabat for example. How is it that you can't deal with a number six that is able to break through lines as easy? Like I think a lot of teams pigeonhole themselves into well, this is what we're good at and nothing else. And then when they come up against their kryptonite, they're going, well, that's us out of business. Well, we better go home then. Happy Christmas.
Yeah, just hold their fucking hands up and go, ah, shit.
Yeah, like it was the same in the Portugal game. There was the exact same pattern where like all the precocious players were playing in the same spot, so Amrabat just had to break all three of them up, and they choked out the front line. It was like this is how have you fallen for this after Spain did 3 days ago? Did you not watch the match? And much to your point though, it was also because Amrabat was doing such the proverbial dirty work. But it was more than that. It was breaking the play and then feeding a pass to Nahi or feeding it out wide to the fullbacks who then would keep switching play. And then with Ziyech back in the Moroccan team as well, like it says so much that sometimes like when you just play your best, when you bring in your star players and don't like fall into the political bullshit in a sense of the whatever kind of like internal politics they are in the team, like this Moroccan team like would have been so much. I would say it was so much worse without Ziyech, but now they had talismans there along with him and Hakimi, you know. But as you said, the breakout
Oh,
star.
Hakimi was fucking brilliant. Holy
Yeah,
shit. I mean, it was his play alone that France completely retooled their entire
yeah.
tactical structure in that semi final because he was just killing it.
Mm.
Superb defending, marauding runs, everything. I think to be honest with you, if I was making a team of the tournament, he'd be at right back. In fact, actually, there'd be a shocking amount of Moroccans in the team of the tournament.
I was going to say, well, maybe to tell off this podcast, we might do our own team of the
Mm-hmm.
tournament because I've seen a few of them and they're all terrible. Um, oh, mother of God, like I mean, like Danny Murphy needs to just stop talking. Like he just genuinely needs to stop talking.
That
There's no,
that's
there's no
that's been true for
universe.
years, mate. That's been true
Oh, I
for.
know, but that's like this is now the actual evidence to actually lock him up for good. Like
Mm-hmm.
send him off to be in sports with all the other fucking racist cunts. But anyway, but yeah, so obviously Morocco also kind of capitalized on a lot of like ailing European teams. I'm thinking like Spain in particular and Germany, but they also like showed that kind of vitality that like the Belgium weren't, you know. So I suppose when you're if we're debriefing from that point of view, like I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise that Morocco as a team get to the semi-finals. It's just rare for me that they actually did, and the fates just didn't conspire against them because I kind of compared them to the Ghana team from 2012. You know, that Ghana team were properly like uh they were a very good outfit and they were worthy of a semi-final. And then finally Morocco actually get there, you know, the kind of way.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely. I didn't expect them to play nearly as good as they did, and so. But when you see them play together, you're kind of going, "Oh, they should be doing this a lot more often."
yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
wasn't surprised.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, and that's fair. So actually, on that topic, then, how would you what would you consider to be the biggest disappointment from this tournament? One team. Now I do have a particular maple syrup dipped finger to pick with you here about Canada. Um, you picked them up. What happened to them? What happened, Neil? What happened? I thought they were going to win the whole thing, Neil.
Well, I never said that. But
And you can quote me on that.
yes. But no, yeah, I do kind of. I've said it before. I kind of regret now selling everybody on Canada as much as I did. But again, much like with this France team, it's a young team. Um, the next tournament they're going to be a lot better.
Because they're hosting
um,
it.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I just it was just complete collapse, and yeah, it was crazy. You know, I've no even idea about it. It's just they played great football, scored a good goal,
Mm.
a really good goal. But like you're sitting there, and you're thinking like, nah, you got to score goals in international tournaments, and they just didn't score any, and you're just like, fucking hell, like they scored two.
Yeah.
I was going, what the fuck, like.
It was a real kind of huff and puff type of team because I remember even their first game against Belgium, they were by far the better team, and then they get caught with one break, and then suddenly they're all kind of caught in the huff. Then they don't know what to do next. Very
Yeah,
naive team is what I kind of saw
maybe
them
maybe
as.
a bit of stage fright. You know
Yeah.
that could happen. That can happen on a collective
Mm.
scale. So maybe just a bit of stage fright. I'm like they've no real elite tier players at this level, at bar one or two. You know, Alfonso Davis being one of them. So but yeah, I don't really begrudge them. I am surprised by it. Uh,
Mm.
a wee bit embarrassed as well because um, I was bigging them up, but yeah, they're my only real disappointment. I really would have liked them to have gone better.
Yeah. In fairness, I can't talk because I was bigging up the Uruguay team for quite some time, and just the banter didn't work out for me.
Yeah,
They fell under their own hubris, which I think is in fairness, like the team I was most disappointed with outright was Uruguay because when I was actually watching them play, I was thinking, how the flying fuck with that strike force in that midfield are you making such hard work of scoring goals? And
it was a
like lo and
really
behold,
labored performance from them. Like
it
in
was.
contrast to in contrast to Canada, you kind of thought, nah, this is
Mm,
literally the best they can do.
yeah.
Shit.
Like
Um,
that was what annoyed me the most. That Uruguay was leaving so much on the table. I was just like, okay, I understand that you're like Cavani and Suarez are very very old in the tooth, and they're not going to put in the mileage. But you do have other players. You have youth. You have players you can you in. Like again, Darwin, I think was just like tactically clueless in the tournament, and that's like kind of his thing this season. You know, it's a bit of a phase is going through. But it's not just him; it's Valverde. It's all these other players in behind him as well. They just
yeah, funny
all
enough,
were off
actually, I'm
key.
just looking up there. Uruguay only scored 2 goals as well.
Yeah, they were very, very poor, considering that like even their XG was bad. Like they weren't actually creating chances. I think their first game against South Korea, they only had like 2 shots on goal the entire match, which is ludicrous to say. Um, even with the 2 old dogs up front, you'd imagine at least one of them would have a pop on goal, but they're just so off the pace. The whole team were off the pace, to be honest with you. I think that's only me being generous, to be honest. I would say I think there was a couple of surprises in the quarterfinals in a sense where again you know how World Cups are like sometimes the big teams just kind of get in by name only, but it was quite refreshing to see the likes of say Portugal get knocked out because they were they played the worst football. You know Morocco outplayed them in a sense, but it wasn't short of drama. Like we had plenty of penalty shootouts to go. Like this has to be by far the longest game time in the World Cup between that and the injury time. We just got so many fucking tiebreakers and all that jazz that it just like kept fucking going on and on and on. Like,
More football, more football.
I mean, if that was what the Qataris' plan was, and they certainly got that. I mean, they do seem to like the grandiose and pretense and all that sort of jazz. So it seems to work out for them. What was your favorite penalty shootout, Neil, and why?
Oh, my favorite penalty shootout was fucking easily. No, to be honest with you, I think the final had the best one. To be honest
Yeah,
with you, I really did. I really quite liked it. It had saves, it had great penalties. It had the managers dispensing when I need this, having Ronaldo take the fifth penalty horseshit, and they just had their best players take the first one straight off the bat.
yes.
Mbappe, Messi, right up front, first off, straight up, no kissing. That's how you do it a fucking penalty shootout. Your best
Hmm.
players could take the first ones. No fucking ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. Um, yeah, that's just about it. Like
Yeah.
that was my favorite penalty show. I'm like I was on a bus watching it on my phone. Um, the second half of extra time, I'm
Mm.
watching going into the penalties, and there was people screaming on the upper. I was downstairs, people were screaming on the upper side, and I was like, "Yeah, this is going good."
Yeah, this is cool. I think my favorite one was Spain Morocco, be solely because of the way it ends. Because Spain were very very bad in this tournament. I don't think we can sugarcoat it. They were pretty poor. The 7-0 against Costa Rica was flattering, like to say the least. And I think that kind of like that sugarcoated a lot of issues they had with the team, where they basically had a lot of their eggs in the basket of the midfield and then nothing else up
Yeah,
front. I think it was a team. It was a team that was designed to fail because Luis Enrique, in my opinion, like typecasted his own team. And I'd say the same about Germany, to be honest. Like Hansi Flick, I know was like strong, not strong armed into picking like only defenders and midfielders because there had no strikers at all and no fullbacks. So
yeah,
he was kind of screwed either way. But at least with the Spanish team, like you could say, you could have picked a more balanced set. You didn't have to bring your like play your worst goalkeeper. You could have played a good goalkeeper instead, but you
yeah.
decided to pick Unai Simon, who I think was a terrible goalkeeper.
No, he was
And
awful. He
he's
was
he's
awful.
terrible. I think he's very bad and
Oh
not
no, like
worthy of the Spanish team
and
at
if
all.
he's outright your best keeper to play, then right, fine. You got to make the best of a bad situation.
Mm,
Plenty of national teams have to field substandard goalkeepers. Argentina have had to do it for fucking decades.
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
This
but
is Spain doing it by choice.
yeah, they had not one but two better goalkeepers on the bench.
Yeah.
Either one of Sa or Patricio would have been better than it. Uh
Oh, for Portugal is that as well.
oh,
Like,
sorry,
but
Portugal
two
did
of them
that as
terrible.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry,
Yeah.
just mention
No,
another
but
one.
you're right though. It's the exact same issue. Like you don't play your worst goalkeeper. You're fucking mental. Um, but yeah, no, yeah. Like if you had Robert Sanchez there, you would have picked him over that. You'd have to have De Gea at home, which I still find baffling in my view.
I
I mean,
see.
yeah, okay, probably not in form, but
But
still,
the Gea, yeah, it's baffling. But at least there is a reason that we may disagree with the reason. Lots do disagree with the reason, but the reason is that he contributes nothing to their passing game.
yeah.
Um, but he's just an incredible shot stopper, and that they're like we're not about that. And also, by the way, that's been ongoing since fucking time. That was the same at the last World Cup,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just it's bizarre, and also they're complaining after the fucking when they lost to Morocco. That was
Mm.
in the round of 16. The complaining after that game was that like Morocco didn't come to play, and I was going, well, hang on, you had over a thousand, they'd had over 1,000 passes, and they had only one
Hmm.
shot on target. And I was going, if you've racked up 1,000 passes and only managed to muster one shot on target, that's your problem. That's not the opposition.
No,
I was like,
the
what?
onus is on you to do something with the ball. You can't.
Exactly, that's it. If you just
Yeah.
want to pass the ball around, that's great. But this is international football. You have to get the fucking ball in the net.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
oh,
But
by the way,
this is why I can't understand about the hubris of that team is because I think like I won't I'll say the German team have their own different like level of arrogance, but the Spanish team I think were particularly arrogant in thinking,
yeah,
well, you have to play at the same level as us. You have to control possession. It's like you can have the ball. You're not
yeah,
doing anything with it. You're
that's
playing
it.
with the same three
Um,
midfielders. Like it's fuck
Incidentally,
all.
that game, if I wasn't allowed to pick the penalty shootout for final, that game would have been my favorite fucking penalty
It would
shootout.
have been solely because of Hakimi's little cheeky fucking
Not even that, but
ankle
it's
and
like
ankle.
a 3-0 shutout, like a
Yeah.
complete fucking whitewash. I was like, wow, that actually doesn't really happen very often.
No, and
Um,
it was actually the point that like you could very clearly see Spain had not practiced penalties at all.
that's
Like
it. But also,
they just
like,
did not.
I didn't even bring a keeper who was good at them. Like,
No,
guaranteed they had the head in that goal. That wouldn't have ended 3-0.
no, that's damn sure. But again, that kind of shows the kind of. I think one of the themes of this World Cup has been the hubris of a lot of European teams falling on their arses. Like we mentioned Spain there, Portugal, I think got further than they kind of deserved to be, with the one exception against Switzerland, because that team absolutely were on fucking fire that in one night. That was the one night everything clicked for Portugal.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they came a cropper against Morocco. Again, a team that could actually fucking defend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and even for that Portuguese team, like you could see the likes of Gonzalo Ramos using his opportunity well. The fact that Rafael Leao was kind of relegated to substitute appearances is a grand injustice, and well, quite frankly, the coach deserves to fall on the sword for that because you don't pick one of the best informed forwards for your team and leave him on the bench
Mm-hmm.
in place of Cristiano Ronaldo, who's a massive wet wipe. That's just no. It's just it. Like I get politics and I get like you're obliged to play certain players for your international team, but look at the form book. Look at how these players are performing and pick accordingly. That is how international teams normally work. Um, and yeah, they just got caught cropper. The best of that lot though would have to be Belgium. Like they were by far and away the banter club of the banter country of this World Cup.
Oh, yeah, they were absolutely the banter club, but like kind of saw that coming, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it
Like
was so well
they
telegraphed.
went
It
into
was
this
great.
tournament under no circumstances like clear fate. Like they had a good long run, unbeaten run, didn't they?
Yeah, in the
Going into this,
qualifiers, yes.
yeah, going into the qualifiers, the tournament. But they never looked settled. They never looked confident. They never looked set. I mean, like you've just got to look at that and go, oh, well,
Yeah. Like
what?
and it did also help that everything that was happening in that camp was very, very public. There was such clearly so many rows going on, and the fact that like they all left on separate jets and everything, and
Yeah,
Roberto Martinez had
five of
to
the
back
team members
himself.
left on separate
Yeah.
jets because they just fucking hate each other. Yeah. You mentioned there like Spain with the coaching staff deserving the fall in the sword. They have Luis Enrique has been replaced by De La Fuente.
Yeah. Which
So
I
let's
think
see how he goes.
he was in the wings anyway, to be fair. So
He
not really
was in the
surprised.
wings, but I reckon like I think he was the under 21 manager. So
Yeah.
um, but Jesus, like they didn't waste any time pulling the fucking trigger as soon as they
No,
crashed out. I'd say I'd say he was probably told down the tunnel. Yeah, you're done, mate. Um,
yeah. I mean, you could say the same about Fernando Santos leaving the Portuguese setup as well. Like, he was there for 8 years and did win the Euros with them to his credit. But I always found Portugal so frustrating to watch because they just played such attritional football for the players that they have.
oh,
It's very
absolutely, yeah.
frustrating to watch them.
And in stark contrast to all those twisters, we've got the stickers in England who have decided to stick by Gareth Southgate, despite the fact that he deployed easily what could have been the deepest squad outside of maybe France,
Mm.
um, in the worst possible way.
Well,
Um,
again, we said this about England. Like they were like Spain and Germany. They engineered flaws into their own team. Like you don't rock up to the World Cup with just two strikers and just hope that Harry Kane gets you through. You don't rock up with one left back and four right backs and say, well, one can play centre back, one can play that back. No, stop. Just bring natural players in their position. You have to eventually just sit down and say, I don't like this player. I'm not going to use him. It was a lot of them were crowd pleasers, and the fact it's even I'm not as upset about Trent not getting minutes for England because quite frankly I knew he wasn't. I knew he was there as a token gesture because he felt obliged to bring him along because right Reece James was injured. If James was on the plane, Trent wouldn't have been, and that just says so much more about Gareth Southgate's inability to use talent. Case in point, James Madison. Like I know you have an embarrassment of riches in that position, and when you have players like Saka and Rashford in form, you're going to use them. I respect that, but you don't bring them on the plane if you're not going to use them. You know what I mean? That's my attitude. Um, it speaks more volumes that the players have performed better for England were the likes of Bellingham and Henderson because that is a Gareth Southgate team. Whereas you look like at the goals wise, you're seeing Rashford and Saka at the top. That's kind of the disillusion I have with that team is that yes, they did like end up in the quarterfinals, and I think realistically that was as far as they were going to go. But much like anything else, you take all these players out of the England setup and into a separate team, separate country, then they win the World Cup. It's that kind of weird dissonance where like the English like concept, the jersey almost weighs them down too much. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just mad. It's difficult not to describe it as jingoism, even though that's probably not what it is. It's
Mm,
just weird. Like, uh, to be honest, I think they're held back slightly by a lack of any real alternatives. I think if they had I think if they had a decent alternative, they'd be weighing it up right about now, but they don't. I mean, all this talk of Rogers needs to get in the fucking bin. Like, no, like Rogers would be just. No, don't get me wrong. As an Irish person, I would laugh. I would find it hilarious. A Rogers
yes,
run England would be a fucking Hindenburg like disaster. You
it
know,
would be Steve McLaren all over again.
oh, it would be just be hilarious.
Mm,
And I think even the FA, as clueless as they are about football, which is hilarious for the Football Association, as clueless as they are, know that kind of Rogers is not it. And the only reason Rogers is even on the stall, is even in the window, is because Leicester are doing shit.
yeah.
Yeah, they've won 5 of their last 6, but they only won one of their first 10 games this season.
Mm,
They're 13th now, and they're destined to finish mid-table. They're rooted to mid-table. They're not going anywhere. Rogers knows this. Everybody knows this. Anybody with the gift of sight knows that.
mm,
So that's the only reason that he's like, if Leicester were flying high, you know, nobody be talking about Rogers.
yeah.
Um, so
And the reality is they've also have not developed enough English coaches to be even in the conversation because then the further you go down the well, the further you go down to fucking Alan Kerbersley, Sam Allardyce and Alan Pardew, and like that probably shows you how deep that well is.
well, maybe, and also that the English coaches that they probably would like to take this job on have vastly more lucrative opportunities elsewhere. So like Potter's tied down to Chelsea,
Yeah.
can't get him. Um, Eddie Howe is in league with the country that was almost going to invade Qatar 6 years ago.
Mm.
So he's out.
He's out.
So like I guarantee it, the two main contenders outside of Southgate for this job, I guarantee one of them wasn't neither of them were Rogers. It was Howe and Potter,
Mm. Yeah. And that's fair
and
because like
neither of them are viable alternatives.
yeah. And there was so much lip service about the likes of a Tuchel or Pochettino coming in. They wouldn't have taken those gigs at all. Like I mean, I know there's a lot of talk that Tuchel would love to manage an England side. It's like I'm sure he would, but I mean, give it a 6 months and the German fucking job will be available. So I think he'd rather take that himself, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I mean, like the German squad isn't exactly doing fantastic. Flick is under fucking serious pressure.
mm,
I fully agree with you. If Tuchel's looking at that, going, "Oh, hang on, if I wait 6 more months, I could get my own country's job."
yeah, precisely because it would be the most high profile person available. Because at the moment you're not going to get Klopp yet.
In
Like when
fact,
Klopp does leave
yeah,
Liverpool, that'd be
exactly. In fact, if anything, if he hasn't made overtures already to that FB, I'd be
good.
very amazed.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, like I said, there would be conversations happening, I'm sure.
or
But
whatever German football association
no,
owns the
the FA,
national
you're
team. I'm
absolutely
not
right.
sure if it's the DAF. Did the DAFB only run the Bundesliga, or
I
did
don't
they run
know.
the national team as well?
No,
Okay,
DFB, I
I
think they were the
don't
first one. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
know.
moving on from foreign national football associations.
Associations and which
Yeah,
runs their respective leagues.
exactly. Yes. Favorite moments from the World Cup, Neil. Like again, we're gonna have a serious talk about the World Cup outside of football in a minute, but keeping to the squad itself, like what was your favorite little mini moments from this competition? Your favorite little like you love to see it type of moments.
Oh, everything about Morocco.
Yeah,
Everything about Morocco. Morocco putting Portugal out. The triumph
that
of
was so
hard
good.
work, dedication, and no little amount of talent over unbelievable hubris and ego.
Mm,
Um, that was seconded only by Brazil being put out. You know,
that was
um,
something else. That was just
and don't get me wrong, I actually do have a fondness for the Selecao, just not with
yeah.
Neymar Jr. in it.
And Ricardo,
Again,
to be
he's
fair.
another one. He's another player who cannot park his ego
But
for the
this
national
is what I
team.
found bizarre about the Brazilian team is that they feed the ego more to Neymar than anything else. Like they actually have him
I think I
positioned as the brand for him. It's just so
I,
bizarre.
I think it's kind of they're trying to work with it, and they're sort of like
Yeah,
he's slowly
maybe.
consuming it. They're kind of like it's like he's a cuckoo, and that
Yes.
the cuckoo where it's he's a far bigger egg in that nest, and he's just consuming all
Mm,
the fucking food, and they're like, oh, let's just work around them and see if we can feed everybody else. And oh, he wants to do dances. Well, yeah, we all like to dance. We all like to do the samba shit. Let's get samba back in. Yeah, let's
dun,
all
dun,
do
dun,
this.
dun, dun, dun,
And
dun,
it
dun.
kind of works out, and you're thinking, oh yeah,
Yeah,
we can actually work with this. But the thing is, you can't work with this kind of repulsive ego.
yeah.
It is because it's all
It's
about
too
the ego
overpowering
itself.
in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about itself, and it's
Mm.
never subservient. It will never give an inch. And unfortunately, this is an 11-man game. Well, 22 if you really want to get pedantic about it. But like you're on a team of 11 people, you have to work with them. You can't. It's not about you.
Yeah.
You know, only one player has ever truly managed to ever do it by himself, and that was Maradona.
Yes.
And Neymar Jr. is not as good as Diego Maradona.
No,
I don't
Maradona
think I
is
don't
such a
think we're
messianic
sounding the
figure.
hot take siren off on that motherfucker. Um, so yeah, that's just I it's just those were two, those were my two favorite moments where the two most salubrious egos of the tournament got put out by teams who really exemplified what the tournament, what international, what team is about. In
Yes.
that they worked for themselves, they worked for each other, they were selfless, they put themselves on the line,
Mm.
and they went out and they just played their hearts out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I'd also like mirror a lot of what you're saying about the Moroccan team. Like they provide so much little kind of personal highlights for me watching them because again, you do watch the World Cup for those little stories of like who do you find, who can you see in this competition, who do you like, and this was a very very likable Moroccan team from top to bottom.
Oh,
Like
it is such a brilliant Moroccan team.
yeah, like if it's not fucking Roman size, like time, like wrapping up his hamstrings, like he's me after kicking the ball, like fair fucks him, and like that's something else. But even like I said, Amrabat putting one on Mbappe after a fucking 40-yard sprint, like I love that. To inject that into my fucking veins. I still watch that like clip like on a daily, like that's my
Oh
daily
man,
motive at this range.
yeah, absolutely. If there's not a defense coach or like some kind of conditioning coach or some shit like that that's not using that clip, they've missed a
Mm.
beat.
Yeah,
Um,
and I sincerely hope back in the training ground, Fabinho is shitting himself thinking that that's our competition because
oh
that's
yeah,
a
Fabinho ain't dealing with that level of running. Fuck that
yeah.
shit. He ain't dealing with that.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, that's the thing for me. One outside of Morocco, I'd say there's two ones I'd pick out myself. The first one is Vincent Abubakar just being a complete nut job. Scoring a winning goal against Brazil. Because this is I think it makes them they were the first African team to ever beat Brazil. So this is a big deal. And he celebrates by just ripping his top off, knowing he's gonna get sent off on his probably his last game for his country. And
Oh
just the fact that the referee shook his hand and went, "Fair cop, you're off." I was like, "Yep, good night, lads. See you
yeah,
later."
yeah.
It's just like,
He didn't even attempt. Um,
no, this is so
did
fucking
like
funny.
zero fucks given.
Yeah,
Um,
it's absolutely superb, and
that's
I
the thing.
love it.
Like there was some stupid. I can't remember what fucking muppet RT rolled out for the World Cup final, but like
Hmm.
when Emmy Martinez was making the dick gestures with the Golden Glove, like one of the RT fucking blowhards, um, said, "Well, well done. This is the biggest moment of your life, and you've blown it. You've done that, and you've blown it." And I was going like, "You really think he gives a single solitary fuck? He has just won the World Cup, and he's got the Golden Glove for keeper of the tournament in his fucking hand. He's also He's also be going to every single tournament best 11 team. You
Yes,
think he gives a rat's fucking arse what you think? What the fuck is this shit? I was
yeah,
just laughing at
exactly.
that. And same thing. People are like, oh, he got sent off. Why did he do that? It's his last game. He got sent off. I was like, he does not give a single fuck. He was delighted. I guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if he went back and asked the ref for the red card after the game. Do you mind if I have
Can
that?
you sign
Like,
it for me? Yeah.
not even like the swapping jerseys. It's like, oh, have you written my name down on that already? Can I have it? Like Because I tell you, if I was in his
Love that.
position, that's exactly what I'd have fucking
That's what
done.
I'm gonna do. Yeah. Another highlight for me was the way a lot of these groups ended because, like, maybe it's recency bias, but I don't recall the Russian Grand Prix. You hear me? Russian World Cup like ending with such like nail biting groups. But there was at least four. Like, I think the bulk of these groups were still yet to be decided going into the final game.
Oh yeah,
And like
almost all
typically,
of them. I think
yeah,
there's only a couple. I think um there's only yeah there was even then and a handful of a few like yeah so many of them had like both first and second to
yes.
be decided going into the last game.
Mm.
I think it was Group E that had all these
Oh,
mad
that was the best one.
permutations. Like
That
holy
was the
shit,
best one.
that was
At
changing
one
by
point,
the minute. Like I think
yeah.
somebody needed to break out a supercomputer to fucking crunch the permutations.
Yeah, like there was a point in like 5 minutes during that night, Spain and Germany were both going out for Japan and Costa Rica
Yeah,
for 5 full minutes. Like this cannot be happening. This is absolutely yeah. Actually, that's another one I'd throw there is Japan. Japan were so good to fucking watch as well. Again, you talk about Morocco. Japan were exactly the same thing, just
Japan were
fighting the
brilliant,
spirit. They
so
were
brilliant.
brilliant to watch, and they were so hard done by as well in the end with the shootouts. Just it just again, it's football. These things happen, and you need to practice penalties. Shock horror. But yeah,
Yeah,
those are
exactly.
certain
Because I
moments.
mean,
Yeah,
they went to a penalty shootout against Croatia. I was
yeah,
like, lads, these guys got to a World Cup final the last time. Most of those guys are still in this team. They can do these penalty shootouts. They're good at this.
yeah,
Don't play for these penalty ball. There was a thing where they were playing for penalties, and I was going like, it was shades of England Italy in the Euro finals. I
yeah.
was like, why are you playing for penalties? Do you not know who these guys are? Like, run them.
The
Like
team that got to the finals last time by winning mostly penalty shootouts.
exactly, and also that's the thing. But like we said it in the podcast post to Euros as well. I was like I'd be saying to the England squad, I was like, have you not seen the size of their fucking goalkeeper? Like he's
Yeah,
fucking gigantic. Why are you playing the penalties? You don't want to be fucking taking penalties against that motherfucker.
no,
Same
not a
with
chance.
Japan. Like I really think they really should have tried to gun Croatia out of it
Mm,
because if anything, they've got more legs. Because if it went to a penalty shootout, it was always. I'm like, I don't fully agree with this whole penalty shootouts are a lottery type of thing. I really do think you can have.
there
And
is
like
a
actually,
science to it. There is a mechanism to it.
this
100%.
tournament really showed that like there are people there are teams, people, goalkeepers, uh, penalty takers who really shine in penalty, who can do this
Yeah,
penalty shootout shit.
I
You
mean
know,
Martinez is a famous example of it. Like he gets into your head. He's a booker for
Livinenko,
it.
the breakout goalkeeper as well. He saved so
Yeah,
many fucking penalties. Morocco as well. I mean, Morocco didn't concede any of their penalties,
they're the best defending like team country in a long, long time. I think.
even
I
if
think
you
it's
include the penalty shootout, because they didn't.
yeah,
They went to a penalty shootout and kept all three of them out. I was like,
yeah.
they did even the penalties in a shootout didn't get past Morocco. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this is fucking witchcraft. Like,
Exactly.
but
So,
I thought that was a major thing. I thought Japan could have had Croatia in extra time, decided to play
mm,
for penalties again, which is it's not that's not a decision I ever countenance ever. But
mm,
in particular with Japan versus Croatia, I was like, you go into a penalty shootout against Croatia, you're mostly going unless you're like Brazil or
yeah,
Argentina. Actually, not even Brazil now,
not even
but
Brazil.
yeah, unless you're like Argentina or France.
Yeah.
Not even France, actually. Fucking hell. The fucking penalties in this tournament are bollocks. What the fuck? So unless you're
Right. If
Argentina,
you go in Croatian penalties, you're losing. That is the
yeah,
rule.
unless you're Argentina and the first guy up has Messi written on his back. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Oh, so yeah, so let's wrap up this review of the World Cup then with our own take on the team of the tournament. So before we do that, Neil, what formation wise, what do you think was what was the theme of the World Cup for you? Was it a 4-5-1? Was it a 4-3-3, 3-5-4? What do you think? Top bowling
Um,
ball? What are you thinking?
I think we should go nice, safe, dull, boring, hedge our cunt and bets and go kind of 4-2-3-1. Do you wanna do
Yeah,
that?
okay, I can do that. So two DMs and four lads up front then, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's like because hmm,
Yeah, no, that
just
works. That works fine, actually.
just trying to fucking really try to think on fuck yeah, we'll just go with it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, no, you know what? We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Right. So,
No, I hear
um,
no. Do you
Yeah.
want to go with a nice old fashioned 4-3-3? Fuck
I
it.
do like an old fashioned 4-3-3. I'm not gonna lie.
But
I do like one. Love one. So
if anything,
yeah.
because it allows us to shoehorn more Moroccans into the team.
If anything, we should always be shoehorning Moroccans into our team, to be honest,
Fucking yeah,
lads.
definitely doing now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start off with a position I think that kind of speaks for itself, to be honest.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the easier discussions on this
Yes.
this team. But I like all like more power to Bono, not that one,
Mhm.
and Livakovic, but the bastard Martinez.
Yeah.
You just you can't get it. You can't get past it.
No.
You
Like
can't even mentally get
it's so
past this guy.
self-explanatory at that point as well, because like you said, a lot of it was defined in the shootouts. It was a shootout. It was the psychology of it. And yes, okay, Argentina were not the best defense. Okay, we can accept that. We understand that part. But look at the when it did come down to brass tacks, and as you said, in those shootouts in particular, I'm thinking Netherlands, but mostly the final against France. That's when it helps having a proper um psychopath as a goalkeeper, if
Oh
for
no,
want of a better word.
he's a full on head case. But
Yeah.
also in real time and like in actual play, like he's one of those keepers that can you can count that when the chips are down to make those 3 or 4 good
Mhm.
saves that you need to keep the game. The last gas save against Australia, it'll be a key point in their one, the one that I was literally at the death, and I was like, holy shit, how the fuck did he keep that out?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, we said this countless times. It's the reason why Argentina will win what will competitions, because they have a competent goalkeeper. And when he does retire eventually, they're gonna find it very hard to replace him, because he's a type of player that's very hard to replace. Um, so then let's talk about the defense then. So we'll start off with the wing backs, or in this case,
Well,
left back.
we kind of already said our right back earlier
We
on.
have already set a right back, so let's enter him in. So we're going Ashraf Hakimi for
Yeah.
our right back. Am I right in saying?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
By
mean,
far, like again, it's no surprise. Like he is one of the best right world already,
he's
but
been
it's just
fucking
nice that he has that validation on the world stage as well. You
he's
know?
been brilliant. Ah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Fucking he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Uh left back.
I was going to go for Domagoj Souza of Croatia. I think he was absolutely brilliant in this tournament. Again, he went off injured after the quarterfinals, so we didn't see him
Mm-hmm.
for the semis or the third place playoff. But like if you're going for an out and out left back, I'm finding it difficult to find someone who's better. Probably Theo Hernandez for France,
I
but
was
that's
to
a
be honest
very
with you,
lazy
I
option.
was gonna say when you were saying no, I'd probably find somebody to compare to. I was like, I'd have gone with Hernandez. I'd say
Yeah.
maybe what holds Hernandez back is that he was well shit against England.
Yes.
And
Whereas
I
at least
don't
with
think
Souza, he was good, consistently good until he got the injury. So
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I go with that. I go with there. Maybe
yeah.
an honorable mention for Mazarui. Because again,
Yeah, Mazraoui, like it's
we're trying to
definitely a shout
shoehorn
as
as
well.
many fucking Moroccans into this.
More Moroccans all the time.
But then again, Mazrui wouldn't be a good one. He went out before the quarters even.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that was it.
Um, Now we come to centre backs. So obviously Harry Maguire is making the team. So who
Sorry, Garrett.
couldn't even finish the sentence? I'm
A
sorry.
fucking happening.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we've spoken about him. We've waxed lyrical about him beforehand, so we have to put Guardiol in there.
Yes, absolutely. So Guardiola definitely in. Um,
I mean,
I will say that
destined
I
for
don't know if
greatness has to be.
he is. He is. He's already I think one of the world's best already, and he's only 20. It's actually ludicrous. Um, I will say like, I actually quite find it quite hard to pick a centre back from say the finalists. Because I
No,
don't
no,
think
they were
Argentina.
crap. They were all
Yeah, I think
crap.
Argentina had a very bad defense. Like Romero was fine, but he was also like pulling the weight of Otamendi behind him. Like he was a giant anchor. The French team, like I'd say, the best defender was probably actually Kanate, to be honest, and he got some like very rare game time.
I wouldn't put him into this team. To be honest
No,
with you,
I wouldn't either. No,
my partner
no.
centre back for him would have been Sice.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with size myself.
Yep.
Um, he's exactly the type of person you want. He's a warrior at international level. And I think like the fact that he's playing games with essentially a pulled groin or pulled hamstring, whatever it was,
Playing them really
still,
fucking well.
yeah, exactly. And I think it's only rightful that he makes the team. Again, there's probably candidates in the quarterfinals, but again, we're thinking kind of like players that got there first, and yeah, like even like, is there anyone from the Dutch or Brazil team? Not really, no, not in this position.
No.
No, I think everything else is kind of elementary at that stage. So yeah, we talk about the midfield then. So if we're doing 4-3-3, let's do it so we have a number six, number eight, and number 10, and that's a
Cool.
nice way of doing it. So I don't think there's any competition for number six. Like that's Amrabat's all day, isn't it?
I'm not gonna
Like
get in the way of your love affair here, man.
I can't
You
I
just
can't
go. Actually, feel
I'm
free to type in LIV next to his fucking country name. Go for it. Just fucking go right ahead and do it.
I'll wait until I see him in the jersey. I mean, I'm sure Klopp already has the shrine set up at this
I don't
stage,
know.
but
Think you'd be duking it out with Spuds for him. The Spurs were
yeah.
in for him last summer, or the
We're in talks. We were talks before the World Cup, but yeah, I think Spurs have been actively scouting them since then. So yeah,
yeah.
but
But
like I said,
no,
like
just
he's a great player
gave you
anyway.
everything you wanted in a CDM. Never stopped running, never stopped pushing, never
Mm.
just never stopped. I was like, going, what the
Just
fuck is up with this guy? I'm tired watching this prick.
yeah,
I can only imagine he would just be a fucking awful player to play against. You just like, I hear somebody shoot that cunt. Wonderful. And it's just the
yeah,
kind of player you go, I want him on my team.
yeah,
I don't want to play
absolutely.
against that guy. That guy was brilliant, and he was the main driver of that team.
Mm. Yep. No, I totally agree with you on that one. And like I said, because he did a lot of that defensive donkey work, he made other teams look good as a result, or other players, I should say, look good as a result. Um, like I mean, it goes without saying how well you played. Then we come to the number eight position. So again, we're going for our traditional, like as a word, a number eight place. And again, there's a few good candidates here, really. Like Modric is the first name that came to mind for me, but I do feel it's a bit of a lazy choice.
He's
Um,
not lazy. Also,
he
I
was
like
good though. He
he
was
was
good.
grand. He kept everything ticking over. He had a few good games. Um, and obviously, I'm not disparaging the player himself. Like he played very, very
Hmm.
well. I'd have gone for Bellingham.
Bellingham is in my head as well, and I think it's yeah. I mean, like
You're
it's
you're kind tossing between Bellingham and McAllister, aren't you?
no. I was going to play I was going to have McAllister in conversation for the left wing position actually. So we'll
Oh,
get to that
right.
shortly. Yeah. No, I think if
Because we
we're
already
if we're gonna
mentioned
get
McAllister as a kind of an eight,
yeah
a kind of left-sided eight.
left sided eight, yeah. But I think if we're playing, if I'm picturing a three-person midfield, this then Bellingham would be a better fit tactically. That's what I'm trying to. If you're gonna pick a best 11, this is where you put these players. Um, but no, in
Because
also
I just thought Bellingham. I'm like outside of Saka, he was the only reason I was watching England games.
yeah,
I
if you're gonna
really,
put a token English player in, then it's gonna be Bellingham, I think, for me,
yeah, which
because
is
as I
unfortunate
said,
because Saka had a
he was
wonderful tournament
electric.
as well. But Bellingham,
Yeah.
Bellingham was just sensational. Every single England game he was in, he
Mm.
was just so fucking good. And I was
Yeah.
going, Jesus Christ, this guy's really good. Like, I mean, like the amount of hype jobs you've seen come and go, particularly with regards to English players coming from German clubs, yada yada
Mm.
yada, so on and so forth. I'm like, that's a whole other podcast in and of itself. But I think Bellingham believed the hype.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Like this is one case where like they was correct to suss this guy out as the talent. He is the kid. I know Musiala was the same for Germany as well, but that German team were not in the right state of mind to showcase him fully. Like he is good. He's fucking great. But it is that kind of thing where it's very hard to justify not putting him over anywhere else. And like I said, the best competition I think would have been Modric really, in
Yeah,
that role, or
I'm
perhaps
like,
Unahi from Morocco.
exactly. And when your best competition is a fucking excellent Luka Modric, hey, you're playing really well.
The benchmark for that
Yeah,
position, quite honestly.
and
Um,
a benchmark, I am absolutely certain he will exceed.
yeah, I would totally agree with you on that one. Next up then is the attacking midfielder. So this is where we can be a bit flexible with this. I'm picturing this as a number 10. But like I said, this one can play further back or further forward, whichever way you look at it. Um,
Um,
you
in,
mentioned
in
number
my team,
10s.
in my
Yeah.
team, I was gonna go with, and this is fucking amazing. I think my kind of if I was if there was a most improved player trophy going or biggest surprise player going, um, I'd give this to this guy. I'd have Antoine Griezmann there.
I actually 100% agree with you, Neil. I absolutely 100% agree because I've said this countless times on this podcast. I have never seen the hype about Griezmann, and it's because I've seen like the Atletico Madrid side who I like morally hate, um, and also just the fact that like I just have not seen what he brings to the French squad. But
And
then
I've been right alongside you, agreeing with you.
yeah,
That's what makes this all the more incredible. That's what made this tournament all the more incredible. I was looking
mm,
at him going, he has been superb.
yeah, he has. He has absolutely been superb. And the most fascinating thing about this is that it almost is like an accidental discovery. But then when you look at his skill set, you're thinking like, no shit, he should be this good. But the fact he was able to the goal that France won the game with against England, I know like the penalty and all the jazz, but the goal that would win them the game, that cross in, I just cannot get that out of my head.
Off.
Fucking on a six on the head of Olivier Giroud was absolutely fucking
He
superb.
literally just had to get in the way of that.
Yeah,
You didn't have to
that's all
really
you have to
do a
do.
tremendous amount. Just
Yeah.
get your head in a mate and make sure you don't fucking spoon it.
Yeah, absolutely. And like genuinely, like he was the reason why France were kind of overachieving sometimes because he was doing a lot of selfless work and playing like weirdly enough, I feel like he was kind of playing a lot like what Muller does for Munich. He didn't necessarily have a fixed position. He played kind of like in a kind of horseshoe shape around the front three, if that makes
Yeah, I mean, like,
sense.
people were saying that he was a kind of nominal 10, and I was like,
Yeah. No, he wasn't
well,
though, because he was
it
always out wide.
depends on whether you take the snapshot.
Mm,
He's playing as a 10, because often he fucking isn't.
no.
But I
Far from
suppose if you don't want to get into like horrendous semantics, just saying he was playing as a 10 makes it easier. And hell, the semantics we're feeding into ourselves by having him as a center attack.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not an out and out 10, but I think that's kind of the point and was the
Mm.
main strength of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you on that. I totally agree on that. So then this is where it gets interesting then, the front three. I practically personally think this it picks itself,
Yeah.
but I want to hear alternatives first. So like who would be honorable mentions for these positions? Like I'd say like McAllister is an honorable mention, but I don't think he would make the cut. Um I would probably say Giroud as well for how he plays for France is an honorable mention as well.
In all fairness, I think the only one where you can kind of convincingly have honorable mentions is for striker, because left
Yeah.
and right wing, it's got to be, well, left wing, it's got to be Mbappe,
Mm.
and right wing, it's got to be Messi. Like,
Yeah.
you just, the, Mbappe being the second player in history to score a hat trick in a World Cup final and still wound up losing.
Hmm.
He's also the Golden Boot. Um, yeah, he scored 12 times across 2 World Cups, and he's 23. Like, he's
Yeah.
fucking terrifying. He's a terrifying fucking player. Um, yeah, I'd say maybe, if you want to go out honorable mentions, I'll put my fucking Arsenal cap on and say Saka. I'd love to see
Yeah, no,
Saka alongside.
Saka would have been in the conversation. I would have said Gonzalo Ramos as well for
Yes,
for
yeah.
the mauling of Korea, of Switzerland, sorry. Brazil were in my mind there. Like Brazil, like you'd probably say Richarlison was their best player, like realistically. Like Neymar, I know had his kind of fair share and all that, but
He had
like
one very good goal, I have to admit.
yeah, he did. He did. And look, I think the Brazil side will probably look at this as a waste opportunity. I think there was so much more on the play for them, and obviously they just got caught flush with a late goal and a like losing to Croatia on penalties. And arguably the best team on penalties. I would say actually the one person I would like to throw in this conversation is actually Julian Alvarez. For
Yeah,
me, a lot is made about the semi final against Croatia. A lot of that is down to Alvarez as well. Like I know Messi gets the plaudits for Gvardiol and so forth, but that goal Alvarez scores that is very, very familiar to Maradona for me. Like he just
oh
wills
yeah,
the
he
ball.
just kept on running while the ball bounced seemingly somehow into his path.
Yeah,
Now, unlike the Maradona goal, Maradona was in full control of the ball the entire way, whereas Alvarez at times wasn't even sure where the ball was going to go
it
fucking
was so much more
go.
chaotic, and I
It was
loved
so
it.
much more chaotic,
Yeah,
which made it quite fun to watch. I was on the edge of my seat screaming at the television when he was fucking barreling towards the goal on that one, and I loved every second of it. And I will continue to love every second of it, and I will not apologize for it. But
Yes,
yeah, I'd
absolutely.
say at centre forward, you've got maybe Lautaro Martinez,
I think he would be
Julian
great as a
Alvarez,
right-wing.
and maybe
Yeah,
Giroud as well, who really does show that age is a fucking number. And as long as you play to a system very, very well, boom. You know, he also broke the French goal scoring record, eclipsing
which is
some
great.
guy called Thierry Henry.
Never heard of
Um,
him.
so yeah, Salah, you can't. But yeah, I think with right wing there, you've got Messi. I think with
Okay, so
left,
let's lock them in. So if we're
yeah,
going
yeah,
Mbappe
yeah.
central, Alvarez on the left, and Messi on the right. Would that be fair?
No, I'd have Mbappe off the left.
You go Mbappe off the left. Okay,
Yeah, I'd have
so
Mbappe off the left.
Mbappe off the left. Fair enough. And Messi off the right.
Yeah,
And then who
only for the
is?
fact that it allows us more honorable mentions with regards to strikers. In that, like we can mention
Yeah,
guy like Giroud and stuff like that. Whereas if you put
yeah.
one of
Like I
them,
think like outside of that, I would have said probably possibly Richarlison or Gonzalo Ramos would be the
yeah,
ones I'd earmark as potential loads. Like Harry Kane was not good enough in this
oh
competition.
no,
Like
no,
two
no, no,
goals
no,
were flattering. They were both
no, no.
penalties, and not a chance. Absolutely not. Um, Overall, I think it was actually quite a weak tournament for number nines. Like they were all the number nines we were kept seeing were big kind of lummoxes up front. You know,
The thing, like it was just it was a weak crop of number nines, and a lot of teams suffered for it.
yeah.
Um, the amount of teams that crashed out because it just didn't have a focal point was actually quite surprising.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles, man, and that's our team of the fucking tournament. And I actually think that's a lot better than a lot of the show fucking dross I've seen. One of
Well,
them I saw fucking
it should be
one of them I
pointed that
saw
we are
had
fans.
Stones in the middle,
Yeah.
had Stones at centre back. I was like, are you fucking
No,
joking?
wrong, wrong. No, but like I say, if you're doing subs, like you have to be here all night otherwise. But like this is where you would bring in the likes of Bonu as your spare goalkeeper. You'd
Yeah.
have
I don't think we'll go with the squad. Like,
no, like you can fill in the blanks there. Like I mean, there's tons to choose from in that sense. Your own fan favorites, like,
you'd
but
have McAllister in there definitely.
you would, yeah. McAllister, Unahi, Kovacic, I think had a decent tournament in
Di
fairness.
Maria.
Like Livakovic has had one as well. Like there was so many good players in
Yeah,
fairness. And a lot of them didn't get the chance to shine, especially in the quarters. But
I'd have had
um,
Livakovic as my backup keeper as number 13.
yeah, like you're spoiled for choice in that sense, to be honest. So yeah, that's our team of the season. Martinez in goal. Defense of Hakimi, Saiss, Sosa, and Gvardiol. Amrabat, Bellingham, Griezmann as your midfield. That is tasty. And a front three of Messi, Mbappe, and Alvarez. I think that wins a World Cup. I think, doesn't it?
That definitely competes for one anyway. I fucking tell you
Yeah.
that.
I'll tell you one thing, lads. Newcastle, if you're looking to spend some money, I think that's the team to go for.
Yeah, don't host the next World Cup. Fucking spunk your billions on that.
Exactly, yeah. That's one way to doing it. But yeah, that's our World Cup review over. And when we come back on this Liquid Football podcast, normal service resumes. We are going to be
You
talking about the Premier League and everything about that, as everyone tries to avoid their hamstrings exploding into dust.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all later.
Good night, everybody, and happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.